police have become a little militarized in their tactics, in their clothing, in their weaponry. But it's a big difference from the military and the police. I can say that because I have served 28 years in the military. I am serving my 8th year in law enforcement as a law enforcement officer, working in law enforcement in the law enforcement profession. Now, my whole 8 years, I haven't been a police officer. Let me make that clear. My first 5 years, I literally worked in what we call the administrative side of policing and teaching. I was a teacher teaching classes, and hopefully Sean will be back. I was teaching classes to formerly incarcerated individuals in what they call day reporting centers, which were kind of like rehab places for um, you know, you back, Sean. We got you, baby. Uh, Folks who had went through bad times and had to be rehabilitated and needed a little guidance. So I was teaching a course called Thinking for a Change. I taught a lot of formerly incarcerated individuals, and I always looked at those individuals and people who had severe substance abuse problems. You know, sadly, in my 5 years of teaching at the Day Reporting Center, teaching my class and being a transitional coordinator and help people transition from incarcerated life to normal life, I lost a lot of good people. You know, to me, any soul is a good soul. And I had from suicide, OD, overdose, I had at least 15 people in my 5 years who I come to class and I say, well, where's so and so at? You know, he died last night from an OD. You know, when you see what happened in California with now this federal judge, which it will be appealed by Donald Trump, I figured out something about Donald Trump when I looked at the case law. I respect Donald Trump and his people now more than ever. They will do what we as little kids would do with our parents. They'll push the envelope. Don't touch that stove. And we run right over close to it. And your mama looking, talking about, get back in the other room. I done told you don't touch that stove. And we'll take a couple of steps back, then we'll run right back up to the stove. See, Donald Trump and his people will run right up to the line and sometimes habitually step over the line and say, let the courts work it out. That's where the Republicans got a hand up on the Democrats. They ain't scared to say, we're going to do it, and we ain't going to ask for permission. Let the courts work it out. And the people love that chaos. That's why the people love the Republicans. With the Republicans, you are entertained. You know that they're going to do something that in your soul or souls, you say, man, I don't mind you running up to that line. Run up to it. Let the courts figure it out. Go ahead, Sean.
Joe, what do you say to a person to have a rebuttal to that? I saw something about Chicago over the Labor Day weekend, this couple days ago. Yeah, like 52 people got shot, 52 shootings, 17 people that died. Yeah, 17. Like, what do you say about something like that? Whenever they feel it justifies this particular course of action.
Okay, my response to that is, in large metropolitan areas, you're going to have a lot of crime. The larger the metropolitan area, the bigger your police force needs to be, the more educated your police force needs to be, and the more folks need to understand how crime is dealt with. And policing and community policing and the art of law enforcement in metropolitan cities needs to transform, in my opinion. We can't keep doing things the way we're doing it and expect a different result. That's insanity. And that's the problem. That's the problem. And you have to understand this. You have to present this occupation in a manner that individuals who are young, talented, and intelligent want to be a part of it. You can't get these folks that have been bullied all through high school and junior high and elementary school and all of a sudden put a badge and a gun in their hand and think they're going to be good law enforcement officers, male or female. They're going to handle folks because as soon as they see you and you remind them of somebody who did them in, they're going to handle you bad.
And that's
It,
about
9 out of
60.
10 times. Let's just
That's
talk.
about 67%
Hold it,
of each police department.
hold it. I want to talk to you about something that I saw and I understood why. I know this young lady personally. No names mentioned. It did not happen in the state of Louisiana. She's a law enforcement officer in another state. I knew her from my days of my travels in life. I know some of the trauma she suffered. She a police officer now. I pray that she done got over some of those traumas. Had she not, I'm gonna feel bad when she run into some of you brothers and pull you over because she gonna handle y'all bad because she gonna remember how she was handled and she gonna handle y'all bad. Go ahead, sir.
Joe, me being in a security force, which is a lower level of kind of a law
Mhm.
kind of thing, in the hospital world, a lot of the guys on our force are guys that they couldn't pass the military test. They couldn't
Right,
go to the military. They
right,
couldn't be in law enforcement. They couldn't be a sheriff. They couldn't be a
right,
state trooper. But now you still got a shield and you might have a firearm.
right.
So you use that as a way to still enforce on people and try to overextend on people. And I've seen big
Sean,
old 230-pound guys handle 13-year-old girls bad, bro. Like, come
hey,
on, man.
the rent-a-cop, like you say, folks, see, they find ways to say, okay, you didn't have the physical or the mental fortitude to make it through the military. You and I are both veterans. It takes a physical and more a mental fortitude to make it through the military than any other place. I tell people the physicality of the military is not as much as the mental fortitude. You can multiply that times 10 when it comes to law enforcement. Because mind you, in the military, most of the times you only have to worry about life or death situations when in combat or conflict. And those are very rare and seldom. Believe it or not, when I first joined the military, the word conflict and war was very seldom. To be exact, when I joined, the last war that they had when I was joining was the Vietnam Korean War. That was Vietnam was it. And then all
So
of a sudden, go ahead,
you got to
Sean.
think, I joined in 2000, the year before 9/11. So
Right,
the year I was in, the first year was like working at Walmart, working at Home
right,
Depot. It was a job. You go
right,
there, do your job, you get off and have fun with your buddies, go to the club. But after 9/11, it became something totally different.
right,
But that
right. Hold
first
it,
year I was in when I joined, it's a whole different world.
hold it. And a lot of folks didn't know unless you were in a specialized unit. You wasn't, because if you were in the regular Navy, Army, Air Force, Marines, unless you were in a specialized unit, nobody was concerned about nothing but that. Going to work, doing your thing, doing your hold it. The hardest thing about the military was waking up, doing your PT, and,
Waking up.
right, waking up early in the morning and doing your PT and doing your runs. Everything else, it was what it was. Listen, and I'm being real with you. If you wasn't in airborne, air assault, listen, if you wasn't Ranger, airborne, air assault, special force, if you wasn't in a specialized group, you wasn't working. When I joined the military, the first conflict that popped off when I joined was we were chasing Noriega around trying to scoop him up. But guess what? Didn't everybody do that? It wasn't, they didn't deploy the whole Army, the whole Air Force, the whole Navy, the whole Marines. They just deployed a specialized unit and say, go get that dude. That's why they called it an
Now,
invasion. We went and got who we needed to get. Go ahead, sir.
let's be responsible, Joe. As media people, journalists, to be responsible, right? This is why I don't like it whenever the news reports something and they say this certain thing happened in Chicago or New York. They said, well, the suspect is an ex-military, as if we are all John Wick, we all Jason Bourne, we all of us not like that.
Okay, so
90% is regular guys.
hold on.
Regular guys and regular trainers.
Let's just
90%.
make this clear. In the military, we have different levels of training. Okay, watch this. We have different levels of expertise, even throughout the military. Every military person, when I was going through the military, learned how to shoot a M16. At the time, it was an M16A1. It turned into the A2. But everybody learned how to shoot an M16. There's different levels of people who shoot M16s. You got the regular guy who shoots it. He qualifies. Then you got the middle guy. He qualifies. Then you have the expert. There's very few folks who are expert marksmen with all the weapons in the military. Most of them guys, Most of them guys, you don't see them guys, because once them guys get to that level and they show that they have that type of expertise, they become Delta Force, Special Forces, Army Rangers, Navy SEALs, CBs. I can go on. They come
G.I. Joe.
right. They become the GI. Hold it. They become Air Force combat engineers, which people talk about the Air Force, but they got some guys called combat engineers. You don't want to mess with them boys. They drop them boys in the middle of a desert or a jungle and say, make an airport and make it in 1 hour. And you drop them and they do it. They clear that area out, and next thing, give them some bad boys. You know, they got bad people out there, man. They know. Now, police officers on the other side, they got specialized. Everybody in policing ain't the baddest, ain't the baddest dude on the planet either. Everybody in police ain't go because they ain't that good. Yeah, listen.
They ain't SWAT. They ain't SWAT.
They ain't SWAT. Hold it. Hey, they talk about you ain't SWAT. They ain't SWAT. Hold on. That's what I'm gonna start telling folks. You ain't SWAT. Hold on. That's gonna thank you, Sean. You just gave. I'm going to work today and tell somebody. Hold it, man. You ain't SWAT. Hold on. So hold up. Understand, you got people who barely qualify with their pistol, and you got folk who their job, though they are a law enforcement officer, they not like myself. I'm in law enforcement right now. Am I a patrol officer? No. No, sir. I do not do a patrol shift. I ain't pulling people over on the side of the highway. I ain't reading people their rights. Am I a narcotics officer? Am I running around looking for dope? Nope. But I am a law enforcement officer. And if needed, I have the training necessary to handcuff you, to read you your rights. I am a post-certified law enforcement officer that if I have to, I know how to use the law in order to enforce the law. And at the end of the day, you know, you got to understand that there's different levels of this thing. There's different levels. And SWAT guys are a different breed of dude, especially in law enforcement. But back to the story at hand. In California, the federal judge rules that Donald Trump overstepped his boundaries by deploying the National Guard to do policing duty. I said it, I say it again. Nothing new under the sun. The same thing Donald Trump did in California. If you go back in history, you can notice where individuals with the same mindset or similar mindsets to Donald Trump have did the same thing. It happened in World War II. Before World War II, watch how Hitler deployed the Nazi regime, who was kind of like the military, into areas to police places of Jews where he felt like the places that had the authority was not doing an adequate job well enough to get the Jews policed. Same thing's happening here. Your police force is not adequate enough to resolve crime. It's too much crime in DC. Now you got folk, black and brown folks and white folks that jump up because crime is a big thing. Everybody want to feel safe. So that's one of the reasons people are turning a blind eye. The truth about it is,
you know, Joe.
come on, Bowtie.
When you think about it, Joe, I get it. We want to live in a perfect world. But when you look at things overall, crime was existing before we even was born. Before, I think crime was existing before the Bible was written, to be honest with you. But however, though, fast forward, United States have the most laws ever, and crime still being committed. And crime will always be committed. But I think I think the Republicans do a great job at marketing and targeting and saying, hey, crime is an issue. Joe, I don't know if you seen my post yesterday that I made a post, but I listed the top 5 states with the highest crimes. And all of them are Republican states, right?
Give me them states. Give me the states. I need.
It's Tennessee, Louisiana, Alabama, uh, Texas, and it's another state. It's on my Facebook though, but
Hold on, let me go get it because I want to hold it. We need to discuss because you haven't named the state yet that is not Republican ran. You're right.
And while y'all getting that stat, I just want to say for the audience, it's a known fact that more policing does not decrease crime. More policing does not decrease crime. Facts.
I got you, Joe. Louisiana, Tennessee, Alabama, South Carolina, and Arkansas.
Right. Okay. Now listen to that. I want y'all to listen to this. according to an Axios analyst of 2024 FBI data, the highest violent crime and homicide rates, the highest violent crime and homicide rates are concentrated in certain southern and western states, which are governed by Republicans.
Mm-hmm.
Is the National Guard family being deployed in the state of Louisiana in your cities? I'll wait. In the great state of my home state of Tennessee, I'll wait. In the great state of Alabama, I'll wait. In the great state of Arkansas, Huckabee area, South Carolina, once again, fully ran Republican states.
In states that's known to have them good old boys too.
Hold on. Louisiana, number 1. Tennessee, number 2. Alabama, number 3. Arkansas, number 4. South Carolina, number 5. Do you hear the Republicans talking about we need to deploy the National Guard in these states to
Now,
calm down crime? Because the crime statistics from the federal, not from the state, from your Mr. Trump, your FBI stats say these states have the highest crime. Do we see the National Guard in these states?
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
So once again, it ain't about the crime. It's about who I can say is the guilty party. I can say Chicago's guilty because it's got a black population and a Democratic mayor. I can say DC got a problem because it's got a black population and it's got a Democratic mayor. I can say California got a problem because it's got a governor that's Democratic, and most of the cities that we're going to are black and brown or Hispanic. In other words, if you're white, you're all right. If you're brown, stick around. If you're black, stay back. I said what I said.
Now, Joe, this is gonna trip you out, Joe. Statistically, I read this yesterday. I was just doing some research on crime for some reason. These are the crime rates according to ethnic cultures. And the last one is going to trip you out. Trust me, Joe.
Give it to me.
White American commit over 59.1% of the crimes.
Wait a minute. Say that again. Hold on.
White Americans commit 59.1% of all crimes
Give
in
the
America.
Stats, brother. Keep on giving the stats.
Then there comes Black America. We up there. We at like, I think 38. No, I know for sure. I got it right here. We're 39% with the crimes. Then come the Hispanics with less than 10%. Now, this is the last one that's going to trip you out. Native Americans commit 1.0% of crimes in America.
Now, let me show you something. Brother Bowtie just gave you the raw data on crime statistic based on the population of the United States of America. Now, if they take, now watch this, what you don't see when they give you these crime stats and the propaganda machine throws it out there, they take the white people out. They take the white people out, and then they put the black people. They do this thing. They do this what we call the bell curve of the analytics on that. A bell curve means I done took everybody out. Now I need to concentrate on just you and say per your capita. In other words, per your capita, how many of y'all are causing issues and doing stuff? Look, we're going to get back into it, but right now it's about that time, bottom of the hour. You see them, I see them. Rocky Top, you'll always be home, sweet home to me. Here, old Rocky Top. Somebody was down in Atlanta and had the opportunity to say, Rocky Top, Tennessee.
Is that Gator Blue? Is that Gator Blue?
Oh, that's what he got on the Rams. That's all right. That's all right. It's about to get loose, y'all. Thursday, tomorrow will be tomorrow. I love you. Tomorrow, you're only a day.
I'm getting my memes ready right now.
And I'm telling you, it is Elijah Nixon. Y'all give it up. Give Elijah in sports. Good morning, Elijah.
Good morning. Yeah,
Did you see? Hold it. Go Tigers. Did you hold it? The real Tiger. Hey, not that play Tiger. Not that Death Valley Clemson. Hold it. Be exact. You in Clemson can no longer call your stadium Death Valley. You need to call it Death Becomes Us Valley. Because that's what happened. Y'all that Valley. Death Becomes Us Valley. Come to Death Becomes Us Valley. Because the real Tigers came to town and y'all died at y'all own Death Valley.
And I'm gonna get into that one. But yeah, like you said, it was an eventful weekend. It was
what about them volunteers? Them boys something serious.
Tennessee looked good. It was just a eventful weekend. You shake hands with a lot of people. I met Bijan Robinson, all those guys, and it was like kind of cool to sit down and talk to them and talk to him. And
Grambling getting ready to get killed this weekend. It's gonna be 100. It's gonna be 120-0.
I get whipped. But getting into that LSU Clemson thing, Brian Kelly did hit the podium, and so did Dabo Swinney. I don't know if you guys seen it. Dabo Swinney said, if we had to give grades between the loss against LSU, I give us a 58, and I think he gave LSU the score of a 65 because he felt like they hurt themselves throughout the game in the second half. Brian Kelly got a whiff of it. He got on the podium yesterday and was like, I think either Dabo Swinney is a hard grader or he don't know that how much we dominated that second half. So at the end of the day, it was some words of exchange there at the podium. I like it. They got to see each other next year. Next year they have to go to LSU because it's a home and home schedule. They signed a contract. So with that being said, I mean, I know if you guys watched the game, just your thoughts on it. What did Clemson hurt themselves, or did LSU really take control of that second half and dominate like that?
That's the defense. That's the defense the Tigers to be about right there. That's the defense that wins national championships. That is where LSU got the name DBU. You saw the LSU Tigers that you saw when Joe Burrow was quarterbacking. The same LSU Tiger defense that I said, man, if my boy that won the Heisman Trophy would have had that defense, not only would he have a Heisman Trophy, he would have had a national championship. Hey, that defense was something fierce. Something fierce.
Yeah, I mean, like, to be honest with you, I watched the game. I had to rewatch the game, but the middle of the third quarter is when Clemson relaxed. But it was a good game up until then. So I was actually rooting for Clemson. I scratched my head like, my Louisiana people gonna be mad at me, but the defense showed up. Man, that defense came out. It was a good defense. Now, however, I'm gonna tell you that something that was exposed. LSU not going to the championship. Yeah, we count that out.
Okay.
Yeah, I seen some teams that perform way better this weekend.
I'm gonna get into that. Now
I can tell you one. I can tell you one that Elijah covers. To be honest with you, they look very good, but you got to look at the caliber of the competition they were playing.
Yeah. I don't.
Now, can I say something? Elijah has something to do with sports too. We had to be honest as black men, and I have to say that we got something way wrong for the last couple of weeks and months. That Archie Manning, trash.
I was going to get into that. I was trying to get into that. So you got Archie Manning that looked bad, Alabama that looked bad. You had Notre Dame that looked bad. You had a lot of teams that you think that were going to, pull out some victories. The U did kick it. They kicked it off the right way. You had these guys look kind of bad over the weekend. So I want to know your most disappointing. What is your most disappointing takeaway from those teams? Was it the quarterback? Was it the team's loss? Like, what was the most disappointing thing that you've seen over the weekend from college football? Because there was a lot of things that we had on a high radar.
So I'm gonna go to Bowtie. Then I'm gonna go to Shine. Me personally, I'm gonna say this: that I saw Carson Beck. The rebirth of Carson Beck. And still to me, Carson Beck is trash. But guess what? Seems to be he in a system where he can operate the way he need to operate. And they proved that. Once again, I still think that when the pressure is on, Carson Beck ain't the one. Archie Manning, I think all y'all did was piss Texas off. I was highly disappointed with Archie Manning. And guess what? I'm glad that Feinbaum got to eat a whole pie that was humble when it came down to talking about Alabama, because the roll tide, fold tide. That's what the Tide did. It didn't roll whatsoever. It folded. It didn't even make it to the show. It died out. It died out. It was coming like a wave, and all of a sudden it just said, brother, let me tell you something. Football is back, and who you least expect might not be who you expect to be in there. Everybody keep talking about what the Tigers ain't gonna do. I'm telling you, the Tigers, they're going to fool some folks. You got to watch out for the U now. You got to watch out for the U. And you still got to watch out for Texas. You still got to watch out for – you still got some teams you got to watch out for. But I'm telling you, Archie Manning was probably the biggest disappointment to everybody because everybody thought Archie Manning was going to be all that in a bag of chips. And guess what? He wasn't jack. He was trash. Come on.
Yeah, I meant like less than 300 yards he threw. But
We ain't
my
even talking
big
about Ohio State yet because Ohio State is the defending national champions. And guess what? After the way they handle Texas, don't be thinking people ain't thinking about a repeat for them.
but this is one of the reasons why I actually have a mixed feelings with college and NFL because when it comes to the NFL, sometimes you know the upsets coming because there's only 30 certain teams. But at college football, this is why I think everybody loves college football because it'd be the person or the teams you least expect to upset somebody. We had four, no, I think five. We had 5 top 25 teams got upset this weekend. And some of them got upset by teams that we don't even think rank within the top 50 or the top 100. But, you know, it's football. That's why I love football. But Archie Manning was the greatest disappointment, though. However, though, the greatest comedy show has to go to Alabama. It has to go to Alabama. Yeah. And I will say this, too. I'm disappointed in Dion this week too. I think he did bad coaching. He had opportunity to win the game,
I agree.
but his coaching was just bad for some reason those last 5 minutes of the game.
I agree.
I mean, listen to this, y'all. Y'all just gotta listen to this. We didn't mention Penn State. We didn't mention Georgia. We didn't mention Oregon. We didn't mention Yo Nimbus. And Yo Nimbus in the state of Florida, Brother Bowtie, to the Gator Chomp.
Gators, yeah.
And they
Upset
put it
Alabama.
on Bama's ass.
Yeah,
They put it on Bama's
Bama.
ass. Guess what?
And Joe, this goes back to what I said. Look at FSU last year.
Come
Like they
on.
was the laughing stock of Florida. Like, man, y'all making Florida look bad. But
Oh, okay. And guess what? My boy wasn't talking. I don't give a piss about nothing but the Tide. I don't give a piss about nothing but the Tide. Yeah. You gave a piss about them knows it. Okay. Tallahassee rose up and they rolled over the Tide. So all my Alabama folks, that's why y'all be very quiet. I ain't heard nobody from Bama saying nothing. Except we need Nick to get off that ESPN desk and get his ass back to Tuscaloosa. That's all I've been hearing.
That's all I've been hearing.
That's all I've been hearing. Why Nick on game day? We need Nick back. Yeah. Nick said, I'm gonna show you better than I can tell you. We didn't even mention, hold on. We didn't even mention Arizona State, the number 11 team in the nation. We didn't mention Big Blue, Michigan. We didn't mention how SMU, the Pony Express, did its thing. Man, listen, there's some teams out there this year, and with this playoff system, it's up for grabs.
I'm gonna let Sean go, but I'm gonna tell you who's the sleeper. I'm gonna tell you who the sleeper out of the whole group. I'm gonna let you go, Sean, but I'm gonna tell you who the sleeper. Nobody is paying attention to it.
Well, I only want to say I agree with all of the panel. Archie Manning, I was just waiting. I was doing everything in my power to get Fun Dad TV. I want to see every minute of this must-see TV. And I was like, all that gas? And no offense to him, but I want to watch him coach because how they treat Shador, how they treat other young men. I want to see over the year how that's being covered. So every weekend, I'm tuning in on that. Go ahead, Elijah.
Hold on, Elijah. Did you guys watch the TikTok when Eli and Peyton was watching his highlights and Peyton said, let's just tell everybody he's adopted. But go ahead, Elijah.
Nah, I want to say the biggest teams that I think that people are sleeping on, South Carolina.
Oh,
I think Penn State gonna win it all.
You think Penn? You think Happy Valley? You think the all white gonna do it?
The Nittany Lions?
But I think South Carolina. I'm gonna tell you right now, the Heisman winner, and I like DJ Lagway. I think DJ Lagway played it.
Yeah.
I think DJ Lagway played great. I think Joey from here played great. Aguilar, but Lenora Sellers, he is about to put the world on notice, and he has an offensive line that's not worth $1. That man right there. When I say that's going to be the second coming of Cam Newton this season, pay attention to Lenora Sellers down there in South Carolina. I'm putting the stamp on it right now.
Okay,
I said it.
so
I was thinking
You said Cam Newton?
second
Okay.
coming. I think he's the second coming of Cam Newton.
Now,
Okay,
hold on
so-
now. That's saying a lot. That's saying a
Okay.
lot.
I'm a Cam Newton. I thought Cam Newton was my favorite college football player.
Where do he play at? South Carolina.
South Kakalaki.
Yeah,
South
Gamecock.
Kakalaki. So
The man is like he isn't like the quarterback where he's gonna dot you, throw you like 3 steps, let it go, 5 steps, let it go. But he's a guy that when you say he'll make a play because we got to win this game, he's gonna make a play.
kind
And
of like
he's
Jaden
gonna-
Daniels. He's
Yeah.
Jaden Daniels
He's gonna make a
With-
play.
with some size on him. So this week
Wow.
coming up in week 2 of college football, the only big game I see that I think is worth anything, because these are what I call the pay me games. The pay me games are coming up. These next 2 weeks are the pay me games. So for example, you got Alabama playing UL from Monroe. Alabama going once again. These are the games where these teams get paid
They
to
play
play.
like the
and-
HBCUs or
right.
yeah.
For example, speaking of which, the South Carolina Gamecocks is playing the HBCU South Carolina State this weekend. But the only game that I see that even worth looking at to try to figure out who's who is number 15 Michigan against number 14 Oklahoma, and that's at Oklahoma. That's going to be interesting. But once again,
I don't know.
You don't think Ole Miss and Kentucky?
well, I look at all the give me games. You got South Carolina playing South Carolina State, which is a major playing at HBCU. You got Miami playing Bethune, another HBCU. You got Ohio State playing Grambling. To be exact, a lot of HBCUs is getting a lot of national
Spotlight this
play.
weekend.
Right, because they're playing some big teams. Week after next, Southern University flies out to Fresno to play Fresno State. Once again, like I said, I'm just looking and
Well,
you know,
SMU played Baylor this week. That's a good game.
yeah, that's a good game. When it comes to ranked games, I think that Michigan Oklahoma game, first of all, it's going to let you see what Michigan working with, and it's going to make you understand how deadly it's going to be in the SEC with a team like Oklahoma.
Yeah,
Mm.
I think for this week, not like you said, I'm not a big fan of all these matchups. You got a couple, but the week after, Georgia comes down here to Tennessee.
Yes, number 4 against number 22.
Yeah, I think
Florida plays.
Yeah.
Florida plays at LSU. Welcome.
LSU.
Well, hold it. The Gators make their way. The Swamp makes its way to Death Valley. So we're gonna find out if it's
We
gonna be.
fit to see who got the baddest Gators.
Yeah.
We get ready. We get ready to find out who got the baddest Swamp for real. Who the baddest on the bayou for
But-
real.
But
Now,
my
now,
last,
Elijah, you probably gonna like me after this. You already like me, we cool, but I think you're gonna like me at this. So I had depending on the next 2 weeks, my mind is changing that I actually think Tennessee is actually going to be in the national championship.
Tennessee.
Yeah,
That Tennessee Georgia game gonna tell a lot. That Tennessee Georgia
I
game
think
because you're gonna have
well,
number
they're going
4
to
and number
beat Georgia.
22.
They're
I think
going
they're
to beat Georgia.
too. I think they're gonna beat Georgia.
Yeah, they're going to beat Georgia. But I'm thinking it's actually going to be Tennessee and Georgia meet again in the championship,
SEC or national?
national.
I don't know, man,
That's
because I'm gonna be real with you. I think Florida could beat Georgia.
They can't meet in the SEC championship because they both in the same. They both on the same side
No,
of the
they
SEC.
don't have. They got rid of division.
Oh, so now it's just 1 and 2. Go at it.
Yeah,
Yeah.
whoever got the best record.
Oh, Hurgis to Megatroid. It's about so every game in the SEC counts now.
Yeah, so
Oh, it's
yeah,
about to
let's
be.
Texas come in
Listen,
there.
I don't know, bruh. That onslaught called the SEC, it's up for grabs.
Man,
Because
listen.
you don't know what's gonna happen. You don't know if Texas is gonna turn it on. You don't know it. Watch this. We ain't even said something like this. In the craziness of the SEC, you could have a team like a Auburn, a Oklahoma, a Mizzou come up and spoil everything, and all of a sudden, because it's head to head, everybody, man, SEC gonna be something to watch this year. Because whoever plays in that championship game in the SEC, both them teams might make it to the playoffs.
Yeah, SEC is the Royal Rumble of football.
Right.
Yeah, I don't know, man. I'm big. I don't know, man, because
I only watch like
Who you with? Who you with outside? Okay, to me, I got a shirt that says the SEC versus everybody. Who else? Who else is outside the Big Ten? Outside, okay, yeah, Ohio State got a championship, but let's just admit it. Ohio State got a championship with SEC players. Look at their roster and look at where them boys from. Look at their hold it. Your boy Urban Meyer changed the whole coach. Ohio State was a laughing stock until Urban Meyer came up there and started bringing all them boys from Florida up there and all them SEC boys up to Ohio State. Let's just call it what it is. Let's call it what it is.
I like Penn State a lot, man.
You like them Nittany Lions? Why?
Right.
I need to hear the why.
I just think they're the most complete out of everybody.
How they defense look?
Look pretty good.
Okay.
It's not that I'm not like saying that that's my favorite team. It's just that when it comes to Miami look good.
Who's back at Georgia this year?
The
quarterback at Georgia.
Gunnar Stockton. That's why I'm not.
Okay.
Gunnar Stockton's got it. Like when he comes to Neyland Stadium, because I seen him play in the Sugar Bowl against Notre Dame. Gunnar Stockton did not look good in the atmosphere that's going to rattle him. That's why when they come to Neyland, I'm not a big fan of Gunnar Stockton. I told Tennessee players this is the God's honest truth. I said, I'm not worried about Georgia. I'm worried about when you go to Florida. Because you have to go to Florida around Thanksgiving time.
At the Swamp.
At the Swamp. Then people are going to be rowdy. And Florida just, I'll be honest with you. Florida been beating you. And they just beat y'all. Like, you beat them last year, but when you in the Swamp, they're not successful down there in the Swamp.
12 minutes to the top of the hour. We're going to talk this thing out on some sports.
I told him that, but to get into what I want to get into is the Dallas Cowboys thing before you know.
You got us now.
The cow who? The cow. You still call them the boys?
Man,
they still the boys?
Yeah.
They still. Hey, I was about to put some skirts on them and call them the Dallas Cowgirls, but you know, if you want to still call them the boys, they still the boys. Go ahead, let's talk about the boys.
So the report came out that the Cowboys is going to offer him north of 150. Which that market Michael Parsons before the trade.
Come on.
They were going to offer him north of 150 million, not guaranteed, but a year. I think he's only making 133 guaranteed. I think the other 55 is incentives for Green Bay.
Okay.
But the thing is, I don't like that report because if you was offering him north of 150, doesn't mean you were matching what Green Bay was going to give. One, and then two, again, the antics behind closed doors, the stuff that Jerry Jones said. I think that we're better. I think this. I think that when he said this was my offer. I think personally, with all that's going on, I think Jerry Jones is just trying to cover his tracks with this Michael Parsons thing because he lost a valuable thing to. I'm gonna be real with you. The Cowboys are gonna have to score 50 to win 7 games this year. That defense is awful. That defense is awful. And we're gonna see Thursday night.
Who was it in American history that said, "Give me liberty or give me death"? Michael Parsons said, "Give me my money or give me to another team." And I'm glad he got the B part of the plan because he now showed other young black men that, hold up, you ain't got this a hold to these guys who's supposed to be Monsieur Candy. Monsieur Candy, if y'all want to stay there and be Steven, I'll see y'all in week 4 at Green Bay. And guess what? I'm hitting the hell out of all of y'all. I'm hitting it. Hold it. If I were Michael Parsons, I'd be like, just let me get to week 4 where I can hit the hell out of all of y'all. All of y'all. With
that we ain't friends no more.
Every time I hit you, I'm hitting you, reminding myself all Jerry had to do was do me right. So when you take that ice bath, look at Jerry and say, Jerry, you didn't have to do that, man. That you pissed that man off. Jerry, I'm Jerry, my side.
Pride is the devil.
Mm-hmm. Go ahead, Sean.
But you know what, fellas? I think that whole thing is a microcosm of what's happening in sports overall the past few years. You have these older owners doing business as they always did it, but these young boys not going for that, bro. What y'all did last time ain't working this time, bro. Like this is
we are not our ancestors. We are not our ancestors. Hold it. I'm not. Hold it. What you did to Liv Warren, what you did to John Stallworth, what you did to Ed Too Tall Jones, what you did Walter Payton, what you did to all our great black athletes back in the 60s and the 70s and the 80s, we ain't our ancestors.
We're not
That's what
going
you
for it.
said. I ain't my ancestors. I ain't my daddy.
They don't understand why Lamar Jackson moving like this. Why Kyrie moving like that? Why this certain guy moving like this? It's way different now, bro. We're not going for it, man.
That part.
I
That part.
agree.
You know what? While we on a conversation about football and money, I was asking myself
Money, money,
yesterday,
money, money.
what are we? What are we, the ones who played in the NFL? What are they doing wrong? And I know racism is one issue, but I just look over things and I'm like, damn, how in the hell is Tom Brady one of the owners of the Raiders? What is our athletes doing wrong? Not only with their money, but as far as their investment, as far as like their careers. And we complain a lot about issues in the NFL and the ownership, but you know, I think that's where some of the money at. There's only one athlete, and I'm just gonna be honest, there's only one athlete I ever heard, a black athlete who playing football now, said, when I retire, I want to buy part of a team or half a team, and that's Tyreek Hill. But I never heard an ex-NFL player or a current NFL player say, let me go get me a football team.
Because we don't
And
know
I
how to
think
play
I
the
think
long
the
game.
reason for that bow tie is we have to move in silence. Unfortunately, our culture is so toxic in hating and plotting and planning and making sure you don't achieve your goal. I don't think that there's guys who's not thinking that way, planning that way, and trying to achieve that goal. They just can't publicize it because the moment it comes out their mouth, you got about 7 of us, 7 to 10 to 20 to 30 of us who hating on it, who plotting and planning against them, who all of a sudden trying to do everything they can to stop them from reaching their goals. I have never in my life saw people count pockets like black folks count other people's pockets. I ain't never in my life. I had a friend of mine, a very good friend of mine, who's doing some overtime at her job, and the person asked her, "Why are you doing all this overtime? What you trying to buy? Is it your business? My overtime is not your business." See, we too busy pocket watching, pocket counting, clout counting, watching what you drive, watching what you wear, watching where you live. Bowtie, that's why some people don't want to come and support us. Man, look, they always on there. They checking out my background. I had a person send me a thing. You don't need my help. I see all the awards and stuff in the background of your podcast. Bro, you don't know what I did to earn this stuff. Help is help. But see, we too busy pocket counting. If I drive a better car than you, then eventually you feel like I make more money than you. Not knowing that car might be the biggest debt I have. I might be paying $1,500 a month for that car because I know guys who are doing that. I know guys who are driving Beamers and Mercedes and are paying car notes that to me are house notes. I said, how much you paying for that? Oh, I pay about $1,200 a month for that.
I
With
agree with
insurance.
you. I agree with you, Joe. I think
No.
we pocket watch and we hate too much. Sherzad Ali said it best. Sherzad Ali, when she had wrote her book, she said that there was a very famous publisher wrote an article and said we did enough of supporting Sherzad Ali. Or you need the black man's guide to understand a black woman. And Sherzad Ali response was, put that nigga on the phone. And she said she called him and said, have Nike made enough money off black people yet? Have
Right.
Adidas?
Right.
Has
Like
L'Oreal? Like, why
hold
you
it.
count my pockets? Like,
Right.
what, you
We
gonna
great.
ignore Nike?
We
You gonna ignore
hold it.
Adidas?
We great making. We make other folks rich. We won't make
Mhm.
each other rich. We for some odd reason have a problem with sharing the wealth amongst ourselves. We don't mind walking. We listen. A lot of us like being the only chip in the cookie. We love it when we walk in the room and the only black person in that room is ourselves. And those type of black people, I don't want to deal with y'all. Y'all the type of black people who are holding us back. Y'all are the type of black people that we can't get nowhere because y'all want to be the only chip in the cookie. Baby, when I walk in the room, I want to take about 50 or 100 of us with me. And we all be in the room. Be exact, I want the room to have more of us than them.
Yeah.
I gotta say this tonight. I'm gonna go. I agree with that.
Come on. Give us some closing words also, Elijah, and tell us about the fit takes. Go ahead.
I got you. I agree with what you guys are saying wholeheartedly, but I also feel like we don't play the long game. We play. We're here for the short. Like if you give somebody who was just eating noodles for a whole life $50,000, $60,000, $100 million, or whatever, they're gonna look at that and be like, "Oh, this is it. they don't think that, okay, how can I build off of this? Most people thinking like this is it. And they don't know how to play the long game because when they got the money now, they got everything that they want, but they're not realizing what they really need. So I feel like for us, we need to start playing the long game more because there's no way. Tom Brady was taking a less deal as he was never the highest paid quarterback. He was never the highest paid quarterback if you pay attention. But he knew how to put his money, and now he's the owner of the Vegas Raiders and putting that stuff aside and trying to get some equity in these companies. Like, I was talking to somebody the other day about this. Like, I understand Chipotle is the biggest. I don't know how it really worked, but if I was getting a deal and I know Chipotle is the biggest company, they're going to pay me one time. And that one time will say, let'd be like $200 million to do one commercial. I'm cool with that. But then if you look at it, if Taco Bell offer you some stock in their company and they're paying you $150, think about that for a second. I'm not saying everybody still eat Taco Bell, but if you're giving me stock with some money, I mean, I'm probably going to have to look into that as a longevity thing because Taco Bell is not going nowhere. It's not. McDonald's isn't going anywhere. I'm not saying Chipotle is going anywhere, but a one-time payment versus a payment and some stock into a company that's going to keep going up and down no matter what, but staying at that level place, I'm going to take that stock every time because that's where the real future is. It's that money right there to keep growing in that future. So I think we got to learn how to play the long game and not take the first offer that's thrown at us. We got to really think about, okay, how will this help me 10 years down the line, not how this is going to help me tomorrow. That's the thing.
Well, y'all give it up. Elijah Nixon with sports. That was great words right there. Elijah, tell us about the Fitz Take. I know you got to get up out of here, and we'll see you tomorrow for Turn Up Thursday, Turn Down for What as we get ready for the NFL season to kick off.
Oh, yeah, I'm ready for the NFL season to kick off. But, yeah, Fitz Take, we're kicking things underway. We're going to pick a game coming up and do a live stream with it. So I hope you guys could tune in and watch that. Also, we got another interview coming this time. Like I said, I had fun in Atlanta, and I just seen somebody on the Syracuse coaching staff that I knew when I was a kid. So we're going to try to get him up there, of course. But we got some good content coming up for you guys. I can't wait for you guys to see it. But next week is we're going to do that interview with the Syracuse guy, but we also going to still do live streamings as we talk through games. So I can't wait to see what the future, which I got for the Fitz Take. Continue to like, share, subscribe. And I just want to say thank y'all for the support.
Hey man, we got nothing but love for you, Elijah. Listen, when they do their live stream, we're gonna share their live stream on all our platforms also. So get ready for Elijah and his team and the team that he's with, the Fitz Take with your boy Fitz himself doing this thing. So we're gonna have a lot of love for you. Look, have a good one, Elijah. It's tomorrow we're gonna really get into a deep dive because NFL season is back. We got love for you, man. Holla at you later. All right, we do it at 3 the hard way.
Brother Joe, I have to agree with what Brother Elijah said, play the long game. I was thinking about, as you're saying, the only thing that came to my mind was the movie Lion King. Joe, you took your kids to see Lion King, the first one that ever came out.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
All right,
yes,
so
sir.
the young black man that played Simba, I don't know if you ever watched the documentary, but Disney offered him and his family $1.6 million to play Simba, right?
Jason Weaver?
Yeah.
Jason
His
Weaver?
mama said, no, we rather have the royalties and we rather have a lump sum, something like that. And he said, I was a kid. And in my mind, $1.6 million sounded like I was Richie Rich. But I don't know what my mom had in mind, but I'm glad whatever she had in mind played out.
Because they
Man,
was in
that
the hood in
kid said,
Chicago, I think. They was in the hood before that. They was
yeah,
in the hood.
he said, I have not received less than $1.5 million a year because I chose to accept royalties instead of the upfront payment.
I'm gonna say this, and Sean gonna verify it. When Sean P first met me in radio, I was working on video game Call of Duty. Call of Duty. Now look, I made my mistake with EA Sports. I said I wasn't gonna make that mistake with Call of Duty. When I was doing the voice, I did the voice on a black college football game with Doug Williams. It was on 360 for those of you who right now some kids are listening to this saying, what is it? Xbox 360. They had a platform called Xbox 360. So I did a game. Got one I was the Bank of China and was happy. I got one lump sum. That ushered me into doing something for EA Sports. I was on college football and Madden. Got one lump sum. I come to find out, getting these one lump sums, money go quick. You be like, wait a minute, where that money go that I just got from doing this? And they still playing the game. That's still my voice. When the guy came to me from Call of Duty and said, I need you to do a voice. He said, here's the one lump sum. I remember because Sean was asking me, man, how you do these voices for audio books? And I said, Sean, I'm going to get you plugged into somebody. I'm going to try to find you somebody. I'm still working on trying to figure out how to do stuff too. I ain't going to tell you what deal I made with these fools, but I did not take one lump sum. And it's the best thing I ever did. I did not take one lump sum on this. And guess what? I've done 4 Call of Duties. And guess what? I ain't gonna get on here like a lot of these social influencers and talk, but man, it's the best money I ever seen. Nope. But I tell you this, I'm all right. And never take one lump sum. I always take a percentage or listen, in some cases, if you see the future, take 1.25% of a penny. And just say, for every copy you sell, I want 1.25 cents, 1.25% of a penny, and watch how your money can grow. Go ahead, Sean.
But once again, how these new deals are happening, and it made the old guard get upset. These NFL guys trying to get paid in Bitcoin. These certain guys trying to get paid with, other kinds of currency. These certain guys, like you said, trying to get, like Shador, trying to get equity and whatnot. They're trying to restructure everything. You better believe every NFL offseason, them old guys, I ain't saying they color, but them old guys get together, and some more they should go up probably mad as hell, like, bro.
No,
we can't be having this.
Them old non-melanated guys, but them guys who look like you and I are saying, I still got a little change, let me move it around. See, learn from your mistakes and learn how to be quiet. I agree with Brother Bowtie. There's not enough of them out there saying that they're trying to invest into these teams. But guess what?
Joe. I have to be honest with you, Joe. I hang out with professional athletes and ex-professional athletes on a weekly basis.
You in MIA, yo. There's a lot of them down there. You right.
And I have to be honest, when I have conversations with them, because I treat them like normal human beings. I don't know. They smoke cigars with me too much. But their conversation is not about ownership. There's only one person, ready, or not, this is the most unrated person when it comes to business, Chad Johnson.
Okay, Ocho.
He always talking about business and investment. When I say always. I don't know if you noticed this, but he talks about McDonald's so much, and everybody critiques him about it, but he owns 12 of them.
Hold it. But that's the point. Hold it. Watch this. But he already owns. See, Bowtie, watch this. And I'm going to say this because me and you got to say this to each other. I and you belong to a very grand, great fraternity full of powerful brothers. Dr. Martin Luther King, Al Sharpton, Shaquille O'Neal. I'm just naming some of our frat brothers right now.
Richard Pryor.
Red Fox. Man, I can name a bunch of our frat brothers right now. Big time folk. Not to name the presidents that belong to our fraternity. The United States presidents. I done named some of the brothers that belong. I ain't naming some of the presidents that belong to our fraternity. Here's what I've come to learn. You got to move in silence. I sit around people all the time. I make them feel like I ain't doing nothing. To be exact, all I make them feel like I'm doing is barely making it in law enforcement, because that's what they need to hear, because there's so much jealousy, envy, and hatred in.
Joe went out. He mad at me. I'm joking.
Yeah. But the bow tie, well, I think Joe getting the sound together. But I want to say, but the bow tie, what about this? And we see with the Brian Flores situation, right? We can't even get into the coaching realm real good, let alone had a foresight to get about the ownership part. We can't even get in the coaching realm real good. So I think a lot of guys' subconscious mind more so like, I can't even do that, let alone trying to be in the press box up top. You know what I'm saying?
What I think the biggest issue is, one is I ain't gonna say that's the biggest issue. We don't stick together and we don't support one another. But I think also we limit our vision. Like oftentimes people can only see, say it's like Brother Sean. You say I just want to see a podcast. You say I just want to start the Sean P experience for authors, right? Most of the time, that's as far as people vision go. Sometimes people can't even see their own vision, but people can come to you and say, "Hey, Sean, I think you need your own TV show. Hey, Sean, I think you need this." So people add on to your vision, or they can see furthermore what you can do in life. But oftentimes, the average person, they can only say, "I want to do this," and that's they limit. Like for the little kids, say, "I want to play in the NFL football." Once he made it to the NFL, he don't know what to do after life no more.
I
And
mean,
you know
look
what,
what
Brother
happened to
Bowtie?
T.O. Look what happened to T.O.
I,
Look,
I,
Yeah.
I love the guys on the podcast that admit when their career didn't go how they wanted to. They said, "Look, I only wanted to even what's your boy name is? Call his face. Oh, Keyshawn, right? Keyshawn
Mhm.
said, I just want to get my house. I
right,
wasn't planning on playing X amount of years in a Hall of
right.
Fame jacket, and I
But
just
but but
wanted to get my mama out the house. That was it."
here's my point, brother Sean. He said, "I just want to get mama a house." Okay, now you got mama house. What's the next thing?
Right.
And that's what I'm trying to say. People can only see that much. I give you prime example. And bro, listen, I ain't rich. I made less than $65,000 this year.
Come on,
But
come on.
listen, my vision is past bow ties. Like me and you just had a conversation the other day on the phone, brother Sean. I want to write books. I want to start a nonprofit. I want to have my own show where I teach kids how to dress and stuff like that. So oftentimes what I see in discussion with young people, they only have one thing in mind. I just want to get here and I'm all right. And that's their
See,
greatness.
hold it, and watch this, bow tie and shine, and y'all, and all three of us, like what I do. So
Hmm.
before the sound went out, I had a person ask me, "How you keep doing this podcast?" Prudent planning gives perfect results every time. A long time ago, I positioned myself after I was working in radio and media for non-melanated folks who controlled my narrative. Because Sean was in there sometimes when my non-melanated boss would walk in mad as hell because I'm on the radio trying to elevate my people. I'm on the radio saying, "Listen, y'all, we had a shooting last night. We need to stop shooting one another. And by the way, we need to stop supporting these businesses because it seems to be these businesses are not for our best interest." Man, my boss was walking there in the middle of Sean and me being on the radio talking about, "Hey, man, you can't talk about them. They are advertisers." I don't give a damn. I don't give a damn if they spending money. If they doing us wrong, I'm going to call it out. I learned the lesson. Do I have as many followers, listeners, and individuals on the platforms I'm on now? Maybe I don't. But I can speak my mind because I'm paying the bills and I own it. Ownership needs to be big amongst us as a people. We need to understand if you don't own it, you don't control it. And even when you own it, you don't know how many times since I've owned it that I know non-melanated people and melanated people have sick the people on me. I have been audited 3 times. 3 times. Since I own this platform, I have been audited by the IRS 3 times. I have no shame in my game. And one time when the IRS officer said, "Man, I ain't never seen nobody keep their books this good. I don't know why we got the call." Okay, that lets me know somebody called them and said, "Look at this brother. Pay attention." See, we so full of hate, envy, we sick folk on each other. Man, you don't know how many times when I started working in law enforcement and the capability, how many times people put in a public records request for me. We need to see his application. We need to see what his job description is. And then here's the crazy thing. Do y'all dummies not know that by when you do that, they have to reveal to me who was asking for the information? I know who. All you did, you tried to do it in secrecy, but in truth, you revealed who you are and the hate and the disdain you have for your fellow brothers and sisters. Because it ain't me. I'm just Joe. It's the point of some of us are so full of jealousy, envy, and conceit. The first thing we say is, "How did he get that job? How is he driving that car? Oh, if you wind up, if I show up in a fancy car, I'm a dirty cop. I am oh boy on training day.
Mm.
That's who I am. That's who I am. Joe driving good, looking good, cause he out there planting dope on folks. Man, please, I ain't even in narcotics. I'm in PR and public information. That's what I do in law enforcement. But guess what? They don't tell young black men and women you can get in law enforcement and you can aspire to get a job in law enforcement that you ain't never got to be on them streets, chasing folks down, putting cuffs on them. And you can have an honorable job, still do what you got to do to protect and serve your community. And guess what? You can carry a gun, a badge, cuffs, all that good stuff. You can go through the training and be prepared for if you're needed to spring into action, you can spring into action, but you may never be working in that field, in that field from that point. You don't know how many people right now have criminal degrees who are working in the lab. They got lab coats on. They went through all the training to become a police officer and they in the lab. Listen, y'all got to get the bigger picture. And we got to get all this jealousy, all this envy, and all this hate out of our communities. At the end of the day, like I said, next week, we're going to get into the N-word and we're going to get how we being pimped by people who look like you and I. Everything, since we were talking about prostitution yesterday, we're going to talk about pimping next week. Because we're getting pimped in the pulpit, we're getting pimped in our government agencies, and a lot of us are getting pimped by our leadership. They ain't loving us, they pimping us, and we got to start calling it out. Now, if the shoe don't fit, don't worry about it. All you can do is tune in and say, "Thank God I ain't doing it." But if the shoe fit and we call out your organization or somebody you associated with, then guess what? Make an adjustment and keep it moving. Brother Bowtie.
Yeah, I think we gonna go in a good angle to it. This too, Joe. If you keep this up too, like the conversations for to be very unique in the next couple of weeks, though. But I wonder in the future, Joe, what will be the next step, far as like the ones who did report you to get audited? What will be their limits that they'll go to? And I would like for us to actually try to figure out how can we mentally actually come together and support one another when we deal with issues like that, because it's not hard. You know, oftentimes we laugh and we put on a mask when we shake an enemy hand or hate a hand, but that mental part is far more dangerous than us putting on an act for 30 seconds. You know, so I give you a prime example. If Sean P don't like me and I see Sean P, I'm shake Sean. Hey, how you doing? Sisters like that. But mentally, that's going to bother me for the next 15 to 16 days. Like, man, I just had this nigga in my face and, ooh, I ain't, you know. But
yeah, here's what I've learned, Bowtie, and Sean can tell you this, because me and Sean both had dealt with this. I've had people come to me and say, "Why you mess with Sean P?" Here's what I've learned to do in that situation. I assess why they saying what they saying to me. And depending on who it is, I may go back to Sean P and say, "Sean, are you and so good?" And he'll say yes or no. And when he say why, I'm man enough now to keep certain things to myself. I say, "Well, I'm just asking." Or I'll go back if it's really something serious. I say, "Sean, me and you need to talk one-on-one. Let me share with you my assessment of a situation. And I'm going to tell you how I feel about it. I ain't tired. And if I have to, I'll bring that person there to say, look, I want all three of us to sit here because you said something. I need to understand, are we all good?" Sometimes we don't do that, Brother Bowtie. When it comes down to you and Brother Sean, there are people who probably done reached out to me or reached out to y'all. "Oh, don't work with that brother." Guess what? Sometimes you got to assess that situation and say, why are they saying that? Because the same people that tell you not to deal with a person to be the same person in my inbox talking about, when you go to Essence, why don't you take me with you? I had to move
give
my
me a
mic
free
up that way.
ticket.
Hey, not a free ticket. They don't want free tickets from me. They want it. Can I get that room with you and get some pictures and some interviews with them people? See, folk don't know. I made a commitment to Sean long before I was going to Essence when I first met Sean. I told Sean back then, if you stick with me, and this was me and Sean done known each other. Sean, we done known each other, what, about 10 years now? 10.
Yeah, man. Yeah, when
10
that first book came out, that's almost 10 years ago.
Oh, when I first met Sean, I said, "Sean, if you stick with me, I promise you, I'm gonna put you in rooms that you say hi in the world." I said, "I don't need no thanks. I just need you to get in your room and do your thing." And I've kept that commitment to Sean because it ain't about me. See, there's people out there, they want you to run and say, "Oh, the only reason I got in the room is because so-and-so got me in the room." I give less than a damn. I want to see so many black and brown folks in the room. I don't care. I don't care if you can forget about me. My glory come from God. God told me to open up the door, get them in the room. Guess what? Since he told me to do it, I expect my reward to come from him, not from you. So all I'm going to do is get you in the room. And what you do in the room, that's between you and him. Go ahead, Sean.
To co-sign what you said right there a little while ago, Joe, I've had multiple friend dynamics where I've been blessed to get along with everybody for the most part, right? But let's be super hypothetical and say me and Brother Bowtie get along real good one-on-one. Me and Joe get along good. But I see how Joe and Bowtie can work together with their business. I try to connect y'all, and for whatever reason, y'all don't really mesh, right? For whatever reason it is.
Right.
I'm the middleman, though. I'm the middleman.
Right.
I don't have to let it get Joe because Bowtie don't like Joe, or vice versa. That between y'all.
Right.
I'm not in the middle of none of that.
Right.
I try to bring y'all together, and whatever reason it don't work, and that's fine. Sometimes it don't work like that. But I'm always the person in that kind of position to where it's like,
let me connect the dots.
I can't get doing that.
Sean, I'm gonna take a picture. Sean and Bowtie, I'm gonna take you a picture of something for y'all that was given to me by an African brother. It blessed my soul. It's a periodical table that says these chemicals are some bad ass chemicals by themselves. But if you try to mix some of these chemicals, you're gonna have a problem. Some of them combined together gonna make a bigger, badder chemical, but some of them gonna cause a lot of issues. And underneath it says, know who you mix with and know who you don't mix with. See, and bruh, I look at that all the time and remind myself, I'm good by myself, and sometimes I need to stay by myself. Sometimes you don't need to mix certain things together.
I try to be a connector, right? If Joe said, man, so I'm going to an event out of town, man, I can use a good bow tie, boy. Woo! Boy, I can find me a bow tie. I said, boy, Joe, guess what? I know just the guy.
Right.
No, just the guy. Give me 1 second.
Hold it. I'm working on right now, and because I ain't in the position I used to be in, and I should have did it, and my forgiveness, Bowtie, but I'm gonna make that work. But we still got some issues that I'm trying to work out, especially now that the brother story went to glory. I need Brother Bowtie to make us some bow ties for my former Grand Lodge because I'm the past Grand Master. I need him to make some bow ties for the Universal that I'm a part of. We need to go ahead and get bow tie because bow ties be kicking, be off the chain kicking. But guess what? I'm proud that I'm able every morning to bring bow tie in because somebody gonna see this, somebody gonna want a bow tie, and they're gonna get a bow tie. I infer to my non-melanated folks, and I got a lot of non-melanated folks that watch this podcast and support me. If y'all want a bow tie for your high school, for your college, for your Greek organization, for an organization you belong to, get with Brother Bowtie. Brother Bowtie can get you a custom bow tie for your. If y'all talk about imprint for certain, shoot, you can have a bow. You can walk in with a bow tie with your business on it, and people be like, "Woo, that's the ultimate branding. That's Bowtie." And I ain't got no problem say, hold up, let me stop. Hold on, child. I'm getting ready to come to you. Do you know I went 10 years ago? I told Sean know my story. Sean tell me every time he see me, Joe, you got to put this story in print. Him and Cliff Roy. I don't talk to Cliff as much as I used to, but Cliff done been through a lot of challenges, and I am thankful that Cliff made it through. See, that's when you know who your people are. Your people are not when you're on top of everything, when you got to go through them challenges and you don't know when you wake up the next day. That's when you find out who your people are. Cliff Roy and Sean always used to tell me with a dude named Coco Thibodeau. Coco, and they used to say, man, you need to put that story of you being found underneath that house and how you made it from there to where you at right now. You need to start writing that story. I haven't did it because I've been busy doing other things. But guess what? Sean done offered. I ain't got a chance to get with Sean. Cliff done offered. I ain't get a chance to get with Cliff. Man, give us the story. We'll begin it for you. We'll look, whatever we got to do, we'll work it out. I'm going to do that. See, procrastination is the enemy of progression. And many a times the reason me too. The reason I ain't got to where I needed to get to is because I'm procrastinating. Stop that, family. Stop that. Go ahead, Sean.
But look at the honesty in that, Joe. If you was to see, let's hypothetically say my new book come out, right? I'm doing my thing with it, and you get mad in your heart. Man, look at Sean with his doggone book thing and the podcast and all that. You didn't do your part. Right. Don't hate on the person that did the work. You didn't do your work.
That part.
You drug your feet. You put the phone down and didn't answer the text back. Don't get mad and have hate in your heart by somebody that's doing work. Oh, the bow tie did whatever making bow tie, whatever that process is. I'm not doing it. I can't get mad, but the bow tie that sold X amount of bow ties this year. I just put one needle in one thing of thread, not one time. You know what I'm saying? But people do that though. People do that.
Look, man, it's 9 minutes to the bottom of the hour. We're gonna go until 7:30. I just wanted to say this, man. Listen, this is deep because it just hit my spirit, and I need to say this to first my panel. Black men, I love y'all. I love y'all, black men. I'm thanking God for you, black brothers, and what you bring to me daily to encourage me, to enlighten me, to inspire me, to educate me. I don't know everything. There are things that Bowtie and Brother Sean say every day, along with Brother Elijah, along with Brother Jason in Berlin. There's things that these brothers come on here when Brother Fatim is on here. There are things that brothers say to me that educate me because I did not know and I need to be enlightened. Man, I love y'all. If anything, be bad enough today to look another black man in the face and tell him you love him because he is who he is. And for who he is and whom he is, you are blessed to be in his presence, and you're sharing the light that radiates off of him to illuminate your life and to warm your soul. Yeah, I said that.
Yeah. Sean P, I got something for you, bro. Actually, there's a young lady. She has a disabled daughter, and they wrote a book together. So I want to try to connect you with her so you guys can do a interview. And actually, I like to try to get her on the show too, Joe.
Bring on. Let's do it.
Yeah.
Because I just sent somebody to Sean. Yeah.
Sean, you got to start giving us some royalty checks or something, Sean.
You good, Sean? Do your thing, boy. Do your thing.
Hey, what Joe said?
Send me my 7 cents, man.
Joe said 1.25%.
That's it. Hey. At first, I laughed at that when we can do this and we can do that. We do sell these many copies a year, and I was like, well, let me do the math. I said, hold on, what? And they're like, yeah, but what we'll do is we'll pay you every 5 years. And I was like, oh, y'all playing the long game. Brother kind of old, brother got high blood pressure, a few health issues. So look, so then I got smart. I said, well, if you're gonna pay me every 5 years, do this. In the occurrence of my untimely death, can I get that until, let's say, I'm age 70? So let's say that between now and 70, I leave. Can you pass that checks on to my family? They said, so put it in writing, let's sign it. Listen, sometimes you have not because you ask not. And watch this, family. Stop being concerned about just you. I do stuff where my concern is what happens when I leave. What wealth do I leave behind for my children, for those who love me, my spouse, my significant other, whatever. You got to start asking yourself, what do you leave them something more than we need to do a chicken dinner and get some folks together because we ain't got no money to put you in the ground? Come on, family.
I heard that Nas.
That lets me know what type of man you are. Come on, Sean. On
one of Nas albums, with Ether and everything on that particular album, the Steelmatic, right? He had his little daughter getting some songwriting credits on there. He put his daughter's name on there. I love seeing artists do little stuff like that. You slide your kid name on the credit for this and your kid name on the credit for that, to where the rest of their life, as long as that thing fit, exactly. I love that move, man.
They get royalties. DJ Khaled had his son on every album, and his son couldn't even walk or talk. But he actually said that he actually learned that from Nas. That's crazy that you said that, though. And that's that generational wealth. I'm gonna be gone, but you still gonna get some of these royalties. And then that also puts you in position to own my masters when I'm gone as well. So
you got to work for more than just you. You got to work for more than just you. You got to say to yourself, it's more than just me. And if you really a real person concerned about the well-being of your family and your community, you got to do some stuff that you'll never benefit from.
Because Joe, you know why? The other folks do it. We being funny earlier during the sports session, right? If Archie Manning go out there the whole year and not complete one pass, he gonna be all right. Archie gonna be all right.
NFL.
He gonna be all right. He gonna be all right.
If he don't
He'll be
make
all
it
right.
to the NFL, he gonna be all right because generational wealth has already been built by them.
Look,
Hey,
whenever Shiloh got in trouble, Deion Sanders said Shiloh gonna be all right. My
right.
kids gonna be all right. I
Hey.
made sure my kids gonna be all right. That what Deion said.
That part. And that's where, as a real man or woman, you have to position yourself to say just that. Man, I ain't concerned about them other folk. I'm gonna be all right, and my people gonna be all right, because I already put mechanisms in place that we be all right. Even if I don't see, we too busy, me, myself, and I. Don't get me wrong, you got to take care of yourself before you take care of others. But once you take care of self, you got to position yourself that you leave something behind more than debt and problems. Too many times, black and brown folks, when we die, we leave debt and problems to our generations behind us. Stop that poverty mentality, passing on another Section 8 situation to your family. Come on, man. That I can't do.
I saw last night Jim Jones asked Fabulous. I love Fabulous. He said, "Man, you ain't had no music in 2 or 3 years. You had no singles, no nothing." Fabulous said, "Joe, it took me a year and a half to get my business right. I got kids. I want to have my kids straight, not the executive kid, not the AR person kid. I want to have my kids straight." What he said, I love when he said that.
Family, if anything, as we get ready to get up out of here, make sure that you go okay and make sure your family okay. With that being said, let me start off with Sean P and the Sean P Experience. Sean, let's get up out of here, man. Talk to me.
Yes, sir, man. You see the Sean P Experience on YouTube. I'm so excited. On Friday evening, I will have the sister of the award-winning documentary Elementary Genocide, and she wrote like 7 different books, self-help books, workbooks, and everything, man. Zaza Ali on the Sean P Experience. It took me 5 years to get this show. Don't miss it. It's gonna be amazing, man. Peace.
That's why I'm talking about. Brother Bowtie, get us out of here, man.
What it is, what it ain't, and what we gonna do about it. Let's talk about it. Let's do something about it. Listen, I got a message, and it's a positive but negative message. Trust me on this. I know these 2 people are married, but Sister Jackson, Sister Alethea, we miss you. We really, really, really do miss you. Can't wait to have you guys back. It's been a whole week. I don't know who's counting besides me, but I'm counting. Brother Fatina, I need everybody to keep Brother Fatina in your prayers, because tomorrow the Dallas Cowboys play the Eagles. That's my message for today. You guys have a nice day. If you want to support me, follow me at Bowtie Untied. Or support my business, go to www.brothersbowties.com. Have a nice day.
Woo, that was a good one. I like that one. All right, family. Listen, I'm going to just end it simply. Be better today than you were yesterday. Do something today to bless somebody in some way, some manner, that no matter what you do, no matter what you give them, there's nothing you want in return or can receive in return, because you released it to see them be better. Always remember that there is no secret what God can, what he has done for others, he will and he can do for you. For when God is with you, nothing or no one can stand against you. You be blessed. Have a great day. We up out of here. Peace.